Boris Johnson said, feet away from Trump, I witnessed the moment the world wokerati had worked so hard to prevent, and a speech that left his opponents chewing the carpet. Now, he really went in to what happened to Trump. He really put everything together. I love how he put everything together. So I'm going to probably read this article verbatim from Boris Johnson's perspective, and not comment too much off of it. And if y'all don't know who Boris Johnson is, he's the ex UK Prime Minister. He also, I think he was like the Secretary of State or what have you for UK as well. And also, apparently, a writer for the Daily Mail. He's a columnist. And that's something that I never knew. I always knew him as Prime Minister. I didn't know that he was an actual columnist. But we're gonna go from his perspective and talk about this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, like I said, this is from Boris Johnson from the Daily Mail, and he reports that never mind whether or not he actually touched the Bible, at 12:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the invisible pulse of power surged from the battered volume into the five frankly normal-sized digits of the right hand of Donald John Trump. And y'all get the hand joke there, right? And it happened. Sitting feet away in the rotunda of the Capitol building, I saw the moment the world's wokerati had worked so hard to prevent. I saw the resurrection of the man they despised and reviled, the second inauguration that so many believed was morally, politically, legally, perhaps even biologically impossible. In taking that oath with Melania by his side in her blue boater, Donald Trump became not just the 45th, but also the 47th president, and completed the most spectacular political comeback of all time. I agree with that. His speech ranged from surging optimism to pure bullishness, of a kind of seemingly calculated to have his opponent chewing the carpet. He began with an almost crooning gentleness. A golden age had begun, he announced, leaning over the podium and looking sideways at us. He said, there is sunlight streaming all over the world, he whispered. And as we looked up at the immense cupola above us, we saw how obedient rays of sunshine seemed just then to break through the window. Sorry, y'all, I'm struggling reading today. And then gradually he started turning up the volume of his boasts. Here's him right there taking an oath. With the tech titans of America ranged behind him, some of them now notably more differential than they were, he proclaimed that the next 4 years would be the greatest in American history. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Tim Cook, and all of them were sitting right behind Trump as if to assert the new symbiosis between the president and the super oligarchs of America. They all clapped. To wild acclaim, he vowed to crush inflation, kick out illegal immigrants, restore American manufacturing industry, and plant the stars and stripes on Mars. He was somehow going to reclaim American control of the Panama Canal, an announcement that got a pretty stony reception from the ex-presidents behind him. He was going to tear up the restrictions on American oil and gas, and his message to the hydrocarbons industry was drill, baby, drill. Again, this did not seem to be going down big with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. It moved his supporters to uh, paroxysms of excitement. Henceforth, henceforward, He pledged that there would only be two genders recognized by the U.S. government, male and female. This got another standing ovation. In fact, almost everything got a standing ovation, and it got to a point where I started to follow the example of one of the well groomed young Trump children in front of me who only seemed to rise to his feet on very special occasions. As we come towards the climax of the speech, Trump made a point about America that it encourages its citizens to try to achieve the impossible. In America, unlike other countries, they can succeed. The impossible is what we do best, he said. And to prove the point, he cited naturally his own career, his astonishing political revival. Looking at the facts, it's hard to disagree. This is a 78-year-old man who has beaten umpteen legal cases against him, most of them vexatious, and all of them purely designed to keep him off the ballot. He has fought day in, day out for 4 years to reclaim the presidency. He has spoken at hundreds of rallies and public events, weaving his monologues until he is hoarse with the effort. He has tweeted inexhaustibly in his own imitatable voice. He has reached out to groups that distrusted him and gradually won them round. By dint of phenomenal work ethic and a refusal to give up, he has become only the second man in history to serve two non-consecutive terms as president. In November, he became the first Republican in 20 years to win the popular vote. Above all, he showed his mettle when he missed death by a millimeter as a high velocity bullet hit his ear at a rally in Pennsylvania. Which of us would have the guts to get up as he did and with a blood streak face, his supporters to fight, fight, fight? Urge his supporters to fight, fight, fight. Trump had concluded, he told us, that the Lord had intervened, and I agree with that. In what must rank as one of the most alpha male statements of all time. He said that he had been personally saved by God to make America great again. No one dissented from the extraordinary proposition. On the contrary, they gave him yet another standing ovation. There were many people in that audience who believed it to be literally true that Trump now ranks with the great figures immortalized in the canvases and statues around the room. Washington, Lincoln, and now Trump, a man sent to fulfill the manifest destiny of the United States. It is hard to overstate the excitement and confidence that is being engendered in Washington by the second coming of Trump, this realtor turned reality TV star. On Wall Street, Trump's bullishness and confidence are communicating themselves to the markets and the foreseeable future. America growth will exceed that of the UK and the rest of Europe. But it isn't just the rich who are turning to Trump, and certainly wasn't the rich who turned out in droves yesterday in the vicinity of the Capitol in temperatures of -3 to wave their red MAGA flags and to catch a glimpse of their hero. For hundreds of millions of Americans, the orange-quiffed billionaire is a man who sees things as they do and who shares their pain and their anxieties. He is also a man who can truly get things done. They believe he can defeat the drugs cartels and fix the problem of illegal immigration. They believe him when he says he can make America respected around the world. This weekend, they had another gigantic proof point of Trump's effectiveness in the deal between Israel and Hamas and the release of the first hostages. No one here believes that would have happened without Trump's intervention, and that's a fact. And for millions of others in the US and around the world, the speech will, of course, have done nothing to allay their fears. They will fasten on his loose language about taking back Panama. They will obsess about his seeming indifference to global warming and his encouragement of fossil fuels. They will worry that by insisting on America's absolute right to free speech, he will somehow encourage a new and brutish culture of verbal aggression, whatever that means. Above all, they will be perturbed by his complete silence on the subject of Ukraine, the biggest war in Europe for over 80 years. What does it mean? Will Trump abandon the entirely innocent country and hand the victory to Putin? Well, we will see, but I remain firmly among the optimists. Whatever Trump says about drilling, his most important advisor is Elon Musk, who champions clean transport and believes that the entire electricity needs needs of the U.S. could be satisfied by 100 square miles of solar panels. I disagree with that. Trump talks a lot about tariffs, but he did the last time and ended up doing a free trade deal with China. The British government should get its act together and come up with a similar free trade deal. The Trump administration is already in the way that Biden simply was not. As for Ukraine, I cannot for 1 second believe that Trump would allow America and the West to be humiliated by a capitulation to Vladimir Putin. I agree. I think Trump is going to find some way to come with a good deal for both countries. But as the ceremony ended to shouts of USA, USA, Trump clenched his fist and departed to sign 200 executive orders with his seismograph signature. All human institutions need a leader, and the world is no exception. Um, for better or for worse, America is the leader of our planet, and on the whole, things got go better when the leadership is strong. The strong leadership is what Trump is inevitably determined to give. For the most part, I agree with Boris Johnson for the most part on this. You know, he seems like he's really gun ho on Ukraine. I'm not really gun ho on Ukraine, though. But other than that, I pretty much agree with everything Boris Johnson said in this article. But y'all, let me know what are y'all thoughts? What do y'all think about this? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.